Yes. Welcome to the specially called meeting of Carroll County Council. We all stand, pledge allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we are here today. We've advertised out of, I think, $125,000 out of rainy day and $100,000 out of Riverboat for the purchase of the property as presented to us by the commissioners on 405 Cottage Street for the use of our EMA department and our corner. I will open up any questions, discussions concerning such.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion by Ethan Brown, second by Paul Ryder. And so the motion is on the floor. I'll open up for discussion. Is there any from the council? Any from anyone in the audience?
I have a question.
Sure.
What is the purpose of the purchase?
To give our corner, who, I think years ago, before Chris and even came in, they had a corner building in Camden that had a cooler. Once she took over, it was in such dire disrepair. I think there was an old van that was utilized for the corner. Right now, she doesn't have anywhere. We're shipping all the bodies to Monticello, which sometimes if an autopsy is required, that's 4 or 5 trips to Monticello. And to give her room as well as our EMA director, Mike Fincher, to give him room to operate out of instead of the confines of the basement in the courthouse.
So what,
I'd like to add, if I could, when families meet with the coroner, it's good to not have them meet in a dungeon, in my opinion. I think it's very disrespectful and a disservice to the county to have them do that. And this is a very nice facility, and it could be used for numerous things besides EMA and the coroner. It could also house 911 if we wanted to in the future. There's so many things we could do out there. This is a great asset for the community, a great asset for Carroll County. in my opinion.
well, and that's fine. It just seems to me as a taxpayer that 5,000 square feet, when we have essentially a vacant APC office, we have essentially a very sparse number of people in the health department, that actual desk space is available at property we already have. So my question was, if this is just for office space, you have that here in the courthouse. If it's to house equipment, it's really not set up for that.
Well, what office space are you referring to here in the courthouse? Cause I'm not
The
familiar.
APC office, I believe now is vacant, the old APC,
Next door,
yes.
it's
I believe you have
What is
vacant
that?
desks in the health department.
100,
Health department will be filled.
yeah. And the APC office,
APC, I think you could put one desk in it.
Yeah.
maybe it's about 100 square feet. So it's not big enough to house both individuals.
We're renting space
They
in
do
the
have
county.
space, correct, in the basement,
I have an office in the basement.
right.
And we're already renting 2 spaces in the county, that block building over there and there. So,
But we've committed to that space.
right. But I mean, if we
First
had
year.
extra space in the courthouse, why would we have rented 2 more buildings?
Well, that was, I wasn't in favor of that either.
Oh,
Paul,
okay,
so- it appears to me everybody's trying to get out from the courthouse. From, let's say you have a death many times they're gonna have to come to the courthouse anyway. So I see what you guys want to have parking and space for your offices, but you're really here to serve.
Why do people have to come to the courthouse for
Well,
that?
many times, especially like in a veteran, people record their DD 214s, so they have to come to the recorder's office. They may go to the veteran's office.
Corners,
for burial
corners
benefits.
shake their head, no, they must not do that anymore.
Yeah, would you like to speak about that?
I don't know about that part of it, but I don't have any families that have really come to the courthouse, they get death certificates from the funeral home and everything.
Well, I'm telling you, as someone who has done, and had to go to a courthouse to get a copy, the DD 214 is their discharge. So a lot of people record those, so they're easily found versus, 30 years later, you need a DD 214 to prove service. So you're asking people to go around to different,
But I'm
I just see it as a
questioning
senseless
what that
protest.
has to do, I know it doesn't have anything to do with our inmate director, and it has very little to do with our coroner. And if the coroner has a veteran body, if you will, like, I'm not so sure, Paul might have said, or Chris may have said that the death certificates come from the funeral home, typically, who handles the burial. So I don't know, and even if they wanted to get it from our coroner, she could get those and have them down there for the family if they met.
and then the next question is, that building, I believe, was built in the 60s?
Pardon?
The Hippinsville building was built in the 60s, correct?
Sounds right. I don't know for sure, go,
Yeah.
what's your point?
That it's 20 years older than the jail, that we're also replacing. It just seems like if you just need office space, that there might be better options.
We've been looking, I mean, I have heard this discussion ever since I've sat in this chair.
Did you check, right across from the jail, there's a lot.
I'm not out there shopping for, that's a commissioner job, but I've been sitting here for 4 years hearing this problem. So to come into a meeting today and ask, have you looked for this? I think is very unfair, because that is a commissioner question, and I think they have looked all over the county for many, many places.
Well, I just, as a taxpayer, again, I just see we're not good at maintenance. And we're buying an old building to retrofit to a new use.
With all due respect, we're all taxpayers in this room.
I'm sorry?
With all due respect, we're all taxpayers in this room. So I feel it's a service to the county to have this building. You might not agree with that, but
And I don't.
I feel that's fine. It's your opinion, well, wholeheartedly. But we have a duty to the taxpayers, like you're saying, to fulfill a service to them, to do our jobs up here, and we feel like we're doing that to the best of our abilities. I mean, and we've had this discussion at the last probably 3 council meetings too. Everyone's always welcome to come before us and present their facts or their opinions to us. I mean, we've had this open for a long time now.
I just would like to say, I think you're gonna be into it a lot more than $225,000.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Well, and I will address one of your questions about empty space, possibly in the jail in 3 years, potentially with the ambulance garage, because that's become the front burner issue too, to replace the Delphi ambulance garage. And I did consider those, and I think all of us have. But in speaking with Mr. Fincher, the proximity of both of those buildings to the rail is detrimental to trying to house an EMA office, because of, if by chance, it probably won't happen, but the probability is, the potential is there, if we have a derailment with as much hazmat material that runs through Delphi on the rails, our EMA department would be non-functional, completely non-functional, and I don't think there's anybody in the county that wants that. We never know, we just never know in today's society what EMA, what emergency we may be faced with.
What is the cost, I'll say, to retrofit the building to what the coroner and EMA needs? Do you know that?
We would would venture to say probably around 80,000. But
But
Well,
the
you're
grants,
And for that,
The grants may
what,
pay
what,
for
for
that.
that
No, 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 no,
80,000,
no.
what would that be?
Max that amount.
X that amount.
Max that amount. We are buying a building right now. The coroner would like to have an autopsy room and a cooler. But right now, we are buying the building, and we're buying a building that will house those options.
But we don't know what those costs will be. Is that what
They're
you're
probably
saying?
gonna be
We have
nothing.
seen costs for those.
It was gonna be a grant, I mean, let's all be real here, it's probably gonna be a grant. Mike's been looking into this, you know,
Will
so,
there have to be matching funds then, or do we then?
Not
Yeah.
always.
So we're at that place again where we have a piece of property, but you want us to tell you exactly what it's gonna cost to have it, to hold it, to move it, to fix it. And that's just not how the world works.
Can't do that today.
I mean, you just can't. So we could tell you that it's gonna be 80,000 to put that corner in, and then say we don't do it for 3 years, she gets a 50,000
What have we-
grant.
So we've been storing bodies as we need them, as we need that space.
No, we are not storing bodies. We have nowhere
I
to put
thought
them.
Paul just said we putting them at White County.
Well, yeah, but we're not storing them, we have to pay
We're paying
people
for it.
to
Right.
store them, to transfer them,
Well, I
to
mean, either
pay
way,
people
we're
for
paying,
the
this is whether we own
autopsies.
it or whether we rent it.
So if we have our own, that will coincide and offset pricing also. But to tell you how many people are gonna die in a year, how many trips she's gonna have to make here and there, you cannot pinpoint a number on that.
And I see what you're saying, but I guess I see it as very similar, and again, I'm not one in favor of the jail. That we're building space that we're renting right now that's costing us less, because we're only paying for what we use, versus once it's built, it's ours. You see my point?
I do.
We're not paying
Yeah,
labor,
well,
the
then,
unemployment.
we're not gonna
all
discuss
that.
the jail.
No, we're here to decide on the building.
but I'd like to call for a vote.
Doc has a question.
I just want to make a comment that the state has changed the regulations in the coroner's office drastically. And, they're gonna need more space. They're gonna need more space, it's just run completely differently. The coroner now has to investigate many deaths. Has died, coroner, or the doctor and the funeral director, okay, that's it, that's not the way it is. So, I've been kinda hard on the coroner on space and all, but it's needed, in my judgment. And we don't get properties that's convenient for the rest of the taxpayer, as this is. 6 or 8 blocks from the courthouse, too, I think we need that.
Well, motion for a call for vote. By Paul Ryder, and a second by Ethan Brown. And this is to appropriate, $125,000 out of rainy day and $100,000 out of Riverboat for the purchase of the 405 Cottage Street address. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Second.
Got a motion to adjourn in a second. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We are adjourned.
Bring the-
I'm ready, Brandon. I don't even know.
Yes, have a good day now.
Very safe.
Thank you.
Be careful.
Yeah, take care now. We'll see you later.
I'm not paying your ticket.
Yeah. Bye-bye. See you. See you, Lauren, take care. Thank you.
Welcome to your new home when it closes.